All right, good evening, Southbridge. My name is Dr. Dan Ceballos, and I am the elected host of the Southbridge Business Partner meeting here at Guanguanco, the Cuban restaurant. As you can see behind me, we have a lot of businesses and business owners in town, and we're going to spend the next couple of minutes talking about how the Southbridge Business Partners has meant to them and how we have grown as business owners here in town. Let's take a look what's happening.
Hello, I'm Ron San Angelo, Southbridge Town Manager. I'm here tonight to support the Southbridge Business Partnership. It's a great organization in town that really reaches out and networks with all businesses in town. Obviously, as Town Manager in Southbridge, we want businesses to come to Southbridge, but we also want to support our existing businesses. And that's what the Southbridge Business Partnership is. All existing businesses working together to build, expand, and grow and be prosperous here in Southbridge. So if you're a business out there and you're in Southbridge, we'd love you to join the Southbridge Business Partnership. If you're a citizen, we'd love to have your support. Shop here locally. Take advantage of the great things in restaurants and retail establishments we have here in town, and shop in Southbridge. Thank you, and please do everything you can to support our local businesses.
Hey, Southbridge, Dr. Dan here, and I am with Pete Canoyer, not only a man about town, but the owner-operator of the Big Bunny supermarket restaurant here in town. But I wanted to ask him, how has the SBP, in your mind, how has it grown and affected the town of Southbridge?
Well, the SBP membership has grown to, somewhere around 55 members in just over a year now. I think that's fantastic, and there are many more who we could get to join. I think the idea at this point is that it needs to be sold, and people need to see what SBP accomplishes. So we started some things like our participation in the Holiday Visions parade and celebration, and the Oktoberfest celebration, and we have a plan for a spring celebration. So there's a benefit, an indirect benefit to any business owner in town and to families in town as well, because it just makes a better town. I had family visiting for the parade from New Jersey, and they left saying, let's book this for next year. I mean, they're already thinking about, coming back next year because they had such a good time. That reflects positively on the town, it reflects on the townspeople, so it's all good.
Hello, Southbridge, Dr. Dan Ceballos, and we are at this SBP, Southbridge Business Partner meeting here in Guanguanco restaurant, and here I have Rosemary Scrivens, the leader of the economic boom development in Southbridge. And so, Rosemary, I want to ask you, how has Southbridge Business Partner, how has SBP grown over the past year?
Well, I see a lot more, not just more people, but a lot more enthusiasm and a lot more optimism. When I first came here about 2 and 3 months ago, started the same day as a town manager, I already was familiar with the town, but it was part of a very large territory I had for all of Central Mass. So it was kind of cool to be able to just dig in with this one town. And I just saw immediately there were a million stories, a million good people, all kinds of assets, but people were not feeling the optimism, let's put it that way. So all it took was just someone to come in and say, come on, you're great, let's get together and do something. And there were all these kind of iconic people in the town that immediately got on board and helped me build this group up. And every time we have a meeting, which is every month, the group is bigger and more enthusiastic. And I'm just thrilled that right now we're in a brand new restaurant, and that's kind of one of my focuses, to bring in brand new restaurant into town. People in this town are dying to spend their money here to go out to eat in a full-service restaurant rather than having to drive somewhere else. So that was a very long answer, but I think things are going really well.
Great. And I want to ask you another question is, where do you see the SBP growing in 2018?
200 members. No, that would be great. But I think it starts to get easier because you build up momentum. And for instance, there's a building in downtown that everybody's pretty familiar with that was adjacent to, it was part of, it was destroyed, or at least one part of it, by the fire of August of 16. And the building next to it had to be demolished immediately. So there's that big vacant lot and that building right next to it that's pretty ugly right now, but it's very structurally sound. And people have been asking and asking about what's going to happen with that. And now there is someone that's bought it, and they're out there and they're fixing it. So that's just to have that one thing in the center of town starts to build some optimism. So I think we're building momentum. So I think this next year we're just going to keep riding on, what we've been doing this year, and hopefully I'd like to see it double. We're at about 58 members or partners. I'd like to see it double.
And Rosemary, if somebody who is a business owner in town wants more information or wants to get involved with Southbridge Business Partners, how do they get involved?
Just go to the website, sbpartnership.org. There see a lot of cool photos of our events that we've been involved with, and there's a join link. It's very easy. Just click on that. $100 a year, which is, if you do the math, which I'm not going to try to do right now, it's very cheap. It's sort of like a Southbridge specific Chamber of Commerce, which is pretty cool because we get to focus on our businesses. So it would be really easy for them to do that, or they could contact me, the Economic Development Director in town. They could contact me about SBP or any other business issues that they have, and I can help them.
You heard it here first, Southbridge. 200 Southbridge business members tonight. And I am here with Alexander Santiago, and he is the owner, chef, and the man of many hats here at Guanguanco Restaurant on 12 Crane Street that are just brand opening. So, Alexander, tell us a little bit about your restaurant and what brought you here to town.
What brought me here to town is because we want to share our Latin heritage, and the restaurant means Guanguanco. Guanguanco is the Afro-Cuban rhythms, and we want to show you the Cuban expertise, Cuban experience.
Okay. And behind me, as you can see, we have a bunch of people, and we're actually in a Southbridge Business Partner meeting here at Guanguanco. And Alexander, how has the SBP helped you and helped your business grow? How has the Southbridge Business Partner helped you?
The Southbridge Partnership has been helping me grateful. Right now, we are being exposed to the town and the cities that are around us, and it's growing the restaurant so far so good.
So, Alexander, if we want to know a little bit more about your restaurant, like when you're open and what's going on throughout the days, can you tell us a little bit about your schedule?
Yeah, my schedule during the week, lunchtime is from 10:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, from Tuesday through Friday. And then on Thursdays, Friday, Saturday, we are open for dinner in the 4 o'clock afternoon to 11 at night. And Sundays, we are open from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., early dinner.
And Alexander, if anybody has any questions about the restaurant or wanting to set a reservation, how do we get a hold of you?
Oh, you can get a hold of me at 774-578-2365.
Okay, Alexander, I see that we're in a restaurant, and you got to tell me, what is the food like? Tell me about the food.
Food is awesome. It's Cuban cuisine, authentic Cuban cuisine brought in town from Cuban expertise and Cuban relatives.
Okay. Y para la gente que habla español, que quiere decir un mensaje para ellos.
Aquí están todos bienvenidos en el 12 Crane Street de Southbridge, Guanguanco Restaurant, la mejor comida cubana en el town.
Muy bien, yo tengo mucho hambre, listo para comer.
Adelante.
Hello, Southbridge, Dr. Dan Ceballos, and I have the pleasure to be standing with Councilman Jorge Morales, and we are in a Southbridge Business Partner meeting at the brand new Guanguanco restaurant. But the first question I wanted to ask you is, Jorge, what inspired you to want to become a councilman?
So first of all, what inspired me was the lack of youth involved in our community. So I decided to put myself on the hot spot and suck up all the information and the ability to become a leader in this community and represent our young community to get involved and get the knowledge it needs to be, I look at it in a way of we're our tomorrow's leaders, so we have to prepare each other now to be able to fulfill that tomorrow in our community.
And here at the Southbridge Business Partners meeting, there's a lot of businesses here in town. How has that, from your eyes as a councilman, how has that grown the city of Southbridge with the SBP?
Actually, I'm very impressed because when I fortunate enough to be here with you guys at these meetings, you guys have support, great support here from the business leaders. And I didn't know there were so many people in the business here in town, because when you drive around the area, it doesn't seem like it's out there, but it is. So it's been great. I like to see business people get networking together and learning about each other's businesses, and that will help our community get bigger, because businesses are our support, and that's what we need. More support, more businesses are in our town. In a council perspective, we need more tax money, we need more opportunities, we need more jobs for people, for the citizens in the community. So it's great to see everybody network and be a part of this meeting as well.
Great. And I wanted to ask you, we're in a Guanguanco Cuban restaurant. It's a brand new business in town. What has been your experience? What have you noticed here about the restaurant?
Let me tell you, Guanguanco is wonderful. I come twice a month. I have some mojitos, I have some food. It is great. My wife loves their cheesecakes. I'm actually here more than I should, but it's wonderful to kind of get out of our culture, kind of our, the same foods we eat all the time. So it's great food, it's different taste, it's wonderful, the drinks are awesome. So I think it's a nice opportunity for Southbridge to have a different cuisine here in town and be able to, just support our businesses in town as well.
Okay. Y la última pregunta, si quiere decir un mensaje para la gente latino.
Yes. My people, please vote. Please. The most important thing is to vote in our community. Please be the voice. Next year's elections are coming up. I'm not due till 2020, but please vote if you want to be heard and be understood in our council. Please vote. Go out and vote next June, next year. So please, it's very important. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Southbridge. El mensaje más importante es para votar, para tu voz está más grande para la gente. And we're back, Southbridge, and we're here with Councilwoman Denise Clemence. And I want to hear so much about all the hard, amazing work that you did with Holiday Visions. For those of you who were able to come out for the tree lighting ceremony, it was such a wonderful event, and I want to hear all about it.
Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you this evening. And yes, Saturday was a great night all around. The weather was fantastic. It was our 9th tree lighting here in Southbridge and our 8th procession, whatever we would like to call it. It has, I guess, officially become a parade. We had, I believe, 6 or 7 floats, plus we had the DPW with their trucks and the fire department with many of theirs, and the police, of course, making sure everyone was safe for the evening. So it was a great event with lots of citizens coming out, and also a lot of hands that made it all happen. The core group of the Holiday Visions Committee is very small, a half dozen or so people. But to execute the evening that we had on Saturday, it took a lot of hands. And we are grateful that the Southbridge Business Partnership gave us some of theirs. A number of your people came and helped to get ready for this event. And then that evening manned some of the new kids' craft station, the new games for the children. They helped hand out cocoa, worked the photos with us. It was really a nice collaborative effort with the business partnership. And we're fortunate that the group has been resurrected and reinvented to be much more vibrant and include all the businesses here in Southbridge. Very proud of that. We want to especially thank the Southbridge Cultural Council for providing us the llama display this year. The Zepp llamas were on board, and the children enjoyed that immensely. They learned a lot about alpacas, and they were able to make an activity, a nice bracelet, a friendship bracelet to take home. Bill Belanger came out and sold hot dogs and fried dough and kettle corn, and first time ever, well received, sold out of everything. The conference center provided our cocoa, almost 30 gallons, and that was gone in an hour, the most cocoa we've ever given out. So we also want to thank Elvis Dyer and Sturbridge Coffee Roasters, because he and his wife Karen came and they donated gallons of coffee, wonderful homemade fresh brewed coffee to the locals for free. So if you weren't a cocoa fan, or if you were perhaps you were a little older and wanted the cocoa and the coffee instead, we did have coffee this year. So just everything. Our DJ was fantastic and always donates his time. Our Santa did a great job this year. We thanked Santa and the elves. We had a few elves helping out. Of course, Village Photo, Judy Ferguson, has taken our photos for 9 years. And we are very thankful to her and her crew who come out every year. The Victorian Carolers who came from the Act 2 Ministries Church in Thompson. Every year they sing for us. For 8 years they've been singing for us for free. They don't ask for anything. They just enjoy giving the citizens a chance to hear the Christmas carols. So, I'm trying to think what we've forgotten here to thank, but we are grateful, as I said, for the police and the auxiliary who came out and kept us safe, and the off-duty police and off-duty public department workers and the firefighters who came out and drove the trucks so that the kids could really be entertained and get a chance to ride in a big truck on the way through the parade. A big thank you to Pat Trahan, who donated this year's Christmas tree, which is on Main Street. If you have a chance, get out and see the tree. It's absolutely beautiful. We have a new star. We were missing our star last year, and so a generous donation to purchase a new star. And Lenny Laporte, who, without Lenny, we would not have lights in Southbridge. So former Fire Chief Lenny Laporte Electric, comes every year and makes sure our lights are working. Our star on Saturday morning, we were out putting out that new star to make sure that the tree was just right. So again, kudos to Pat Trahan for donating the tree, Marshall Morse Lumber for erecting that tree, bringing it every year. Marshall has brought us a tree, either donated it or at least helped to put it up, along with our former police chief, Dan Charette, and my husband, Bob. Can't forget Bob. And most importantly, we cannot forget my daughter, Jill, who's been instrumental in redesigning a lot of the decor that Rudy DeGregorio, who we do this for every year, and has passed away 3 years now, keeping his memory alive. But we've been repurposing all these things. And without Jillian's creative direction, I don't think any of it would get done. So there's so many people. Dan Grabowski, shout out to you. You are excellent this year, coming about 3 different Fridays all day working in that warehouse. So many people to thank. I probably miss a few. I apologize. But you know who you are. The Spinelli family, always wonderful to help us out. So many, Beth Stevens and just so many people have been helpful. And again, SBP gave us the extra hands we needed to expand the program this year. And we hope next year to be bigger and better. We've had cars this year decorated. You don't have to pull a trailer. You don't need a truck. If you want to participate, decorate your car, decorate a wagon, walk in the parade with Santa. We hope to get more people next year and make this bigger and better every single year. With the help of SBP, I think that will happen. We feel really good about that for Southbridge, and we just hope it brings a little bit of holiday spirit, no matter what year you celebrate. Maybe you believe in Santa, maybe you don't. Maybe you are a Christian and you just, it's the religious. Obviously, it's the birth of Jesus Christ, but maybe you celebrate Hanukkah or you celebrate Kwanzaa. We just want to make a little holiday spirit here in Southbridge. No matter what your faith or belief is, we hope that you'll come out and share that spirit with the citizens of Southbridge. So thank you, Dan, for giving me this opportunity.
Well, I just want to thank one more person, and I want to thank Denise with all her hard work, because without her being the person that was keeping this vision going, I'm sure the holiday wouldn't have been the parade that it was. And so thank you for all your hard work. Thank you, Denise.
You're welcome. The town is very welcome. I'm grateful to be here in Southbridge.
Hello, Southbridge. Dr. Dan Ceballos, and I am here. I have the pleasure to be speaking with Gabriel McCarthy, one of the generous people in town that has helped grow and renovate the town. And so, Gabriel, let me ask you, what projects have you worked on to help revamp Southbridge?
Well, we've worked on the Yellow Church, the Vienna, this building, 12 Crane Street, the Flatiron, and a few other buildings around. Just, you know.
And right now behind us, we have a Southbridge Business Partners meeting, as SBP. And tell me, how has the Southbridge Business Partner, how has it helped you or influenced you in your business?
Well, anything that increase foot traffic, anything that causes more people to come to town is an advantage to everybody. And the business partnership brings more people in, so it's advantageous to everybody. You know.
And last question is, in the future for 2018, what do you see? Where do you see Southbridge in 2018?
Well, I've always felt that Southbridge, because of its central location in Massachusetts, is the original eye of the Commonwealth. I think it's got enormous potential, but we ourselves have to make that potential work.
Right. Well, thank you, Gabriel. Thank you so much for all the help that you've done for the city of Southbridge, and we'll be growing in leaps and bounds in 2018. All right, Southbridge, it's been a great time spending the last few minutes with you. I'm Dr. Dan Ceballos with the Specific Chiropractic Center in Southbridge, and I just want to thank Guanguanco Restaurant for allowing me to get and mingle with some of my other business owners here in town. It's been a wonderful evening. We've learned so much about what's going on in town, how the Southbridge Business Partnership is growing Southbridge, making it a bigger, better place for people. We heard great stories about holiday visions and how that impacted the community, and what a wonderful turnout. And we also got the perspective from the leaders in our city, our council members, telling us how we can go and make Southbridge a better place. So I'm Dr. Dan Ceballos. It's been my pleasure. Thank you, SCTV, for coming in and taking time to record this and show Southbridge, and it's one of the shiniest lights that it can be. SCTV, you are great. Thank you. This has been wonderful. I'm Dr. Dan Ceballos with the Specific Chiropractic Center in Southbridge.